Cinepoly Reviews. Yes, I know it's been a little more over than 2 weeks since I made a review and or a video in general. I was going through it, mental fatigue, that good old stuff that any YouTuber, that's right, I'm calling myself a YouTuber, that's right. Manifestation, baby. I want to make this video because it is May now and I want to review the best and worst movies of course, April. So without further ado, guys, let's get this video going. First film that I saw in April, it is none other than the mockumentary. That's right, first of all, I'm not talking about Chris Stockman's Shelby Oaks. I'm talking about something a little bit better. That's right, I'm talking about Hunting Matthew, directed by Martin Terasuk. It is about 23 years after her brother mysteriously disappeared, a documentary filmmaker sets out to solve his missing persons case. But when a disturbing piece of evidence is revealed, she comes to believe that her brother might still be alive. So like I said, it is a mockumentary. And I really enjoyed this film. It was the very first film of April. I saw it in AMC Screen Unseen. This mockumentary was so believable. Not only was the unique thing that the actual director was actually in this film, but the fact that he was actually good at the acting part was great. Not only that, but I mean, he's good looking as well, huh? Am I right, guys? Huh? I mean, I can't be the only one, right? Please let me be the only one. Ha! Gay! But of course, also the main actress is also believable as well. You really get to feel her emotions throughout the entire movie of her kind of losing her mind a little bit, but also emotionally wise, she is just trying to get this brother back. She believes that yes, my brother's out there and I know that he's still alive and I'm going to find the pieces to this mystery so I can solve it, and that was incredible. As for the film itself, it is very slow burn. The first act towards the second act is very slow. It's just pretty much filling those puzzle pieces to just know what's going on and how the brother and the friend of the brother are missing and how they're missing. They're trying to get, watching all those films and everything that's part of this mystery. The beautiful thing is the lead up to the third act is so worth it. The tension, that edge of your seat moments, that is what I loved about the ending. But of course, editor Paul, where will you put this in the tier list?
As a mockumentary, I was surprised I enjoyed this as much as I did. The director and the main actress both really made this whole film believable, and the tension towards the final act really felt haunting. But it is very slow in the beginning where it's just picking up clues, and some questions don't really get an answer. So that being said, of course, I will put this as a good tier.
The second film that I went to go see, it's a big one. And the reason why I didn't review this one is because the mental fatigue was getting to me already back in April. But I'm talking about the sequel of the Nintendo puppet, the Nintendo beautiful hero character, right? Of course I'm talking about Super Mario Galaxy movie. Directed by, I'm probably gonna pronounce these directors' name wrong, but Michael Jelenic and Aaron Horvath. It has the sequelitis disease. It is nothing to do with Super Mario Galaxy, the actual video game. There's little moments where it is, like, okay, Yeah, that was part of Super Mario Galaxy. Because here's the thing, I played Super Mario Galaxy. There was some parts of this where I was like, okay, the enemies, I remember the enemy. But then other moments where I'm like, the enemy is not even in the video game. I think the enemy is in the newer video game of the Nintendo Switch one. And obviously we have Fox McCloud, which by the way guys, I was pissed off at the fact that they showed Fox McCloud way before the movie came out. And I know a lot of people also did. Obviously Glenn Plow is the one that voiced it, and it sucked because like we want to be surprised by it, but I guess Nintendo was like, hey, you know what's gonna make people pissed off? Let's show them a Nintendo character right now, before the movie. Why call it Super Mario Galaxy movie if it's not even based on Mario? And if it's based on Princess Peach? Pretty much. It wasn't bad. I enjoyed the animation, it was great. I enjoyed the fights, there's a very surprise guest that came into this because it's gonna lead up to something. Even though Nintendo has denied it, I think it's gonna come to fruition.
Hey, why the lion?
I went to the theater, wanted to love this, but I didn't, because there was so many moments where I thought, this is not about Super Mario Galaxy. Mario's there as a supporting character. This is a Princess Peach film, which is not bad, but don't call it something that it's not. Editor Polly, where would this go in the tier list?
The animation is incredibly good, and the Easter eggs through the movie was nostalgic as well, but this film unfortunately does have sequelitis. It has nothing to do with Mario and or the video game. It is a Princess Peach film, which is why I'll say and put this on the not good, not bad tier.
The third movie that I went to go see during April, of course, is also a horror film and is adopted from another film, an older film of the same name. Of course, I'm talking about Faces of Death, directed by Daniel Goldhaber. And of course, it is about a woman employed as a website content moderator comes across a series of violent videos reproducing death scenes from a film. And of course, that film is from the infamous 1978 film Faces of Death, which was an actual film. They did things that nowadays would probably be flagged and or probably banned in a lot of countries. It's very unsettling, very disturbing, and I gotta say, and I gotta give my flowers again to the Red Power Ranger. Of course, I'm talking about Dacre Montgomery. Perfect villain. He really shows his serial killer vibes. It kind of reminds me of like American Psycho. The only thing that I would have to say about this film is that there's moments where it's very bad decisions, character-wise, like any horror cliche, and that kind of pissed me off. There is a scene where it's a split screen, and I still look back at that and think to myself, that is an incredible scene, and I love that. So with that being said, Editor Polly, where will you put us in the tier list?
Unsettling moments are a plus, but the big thing for me is the main villain in this. He really carried this film on his back. The dumb character decisions were a wrong move in the director's end, and it's also slow burning every now and then. That's why I'm gonna put this in the good tier.
Next film I want to go see, it is also an adaptation of a video game, and a very simple concept video game that is. It was very famous as well. Of course, I'm talking about the Japanese film Exit 8, directed by Ginki Kawamura. It is about a man trapped in an endless spiral subway passageway set out to find Exit 8. The rules of his quest are simple. Do not overlook anything out of the ordinary. If you discover an anomaly, turn back immediately. If you don't, carry on. Then leave from Exit 8. But even a single oversight will send him back to the beginning. Will he ever reach his goal and escape this infinite coronator? Never doubt a Japanese director or a Japanese horror film, because they do have what it takes to make a feature film out of anything horror. There's some parts where it's very, slow burn. It takes its time to actually lead up to kind of those anomalies that are kind of creepy and unsettling in the imagery. Very creepy. They do things that have a little more of the lore that I guess wanted to show in this, which for me, it was a risky thing to do, but you know what? It was a perfect risk because I enjoy that lore. With that being said, Editor Polly, where will you put this in the tier list?
For such a simple concept, it really excels in the unique span for horror. Japanese directors just know how to do it. Yes, it is another film that is very slow at the beginning, but once it begins those loops over and over, then it becomes more tense than ever. So that is why I'm putting this in the great tier.
And the next film that I want to go see is a film that I did review as well. But man, I want to talk about this film because it is, I'm not gonna spoil it because obviously towards the end of this video I'm gonna show you which movie I love the best, and of course the movie that I'm going to buy that poster for the month of April, the best movie of April. It's a very hot debate topic film that a lot of people are going to talk about it, and they're going to be 50-50 about this. Of course I'm talking about The Drama. Directed by Christopher Borgoli, it is about a happily engaged couple is put to the test when an unexpected turn sends their wedding week off the rails. Now the first thing I want to say is this. Christopher, the director, also directed Dream Scenario with Nicolas Cage. That film was the same thing as The Drama. It was very wholesome. It was some good times, you felt good about it. And then all of a sudden, it just turns into something that you don't expect because you pretty much get slapped in the face of like, whoa, this just took a dark turn. Not only is the chemistry between Zendaya and Robert Pattinson beautiful, but you believe this couple is going through it. And not only that, but the directing and the editing is smoothly, perfectly done. The transitions of the flashbacks, which by the way, not a lot of movies can put a flashback and make it good, but for this, the flashback was perfectly done. I'm being very tiptoeing when it comes to this film because I know a lot of people still haven't seen this film. But please go see this film because, like I said, it's a 50-50. There's going to be a lot of debate, and there probably have been a lot of debates about this film. Thank God for the Norwegian and the director Christopher who directed this. That being said, Editor Polly, where will you put it in the tier list? I already know where you put it, but I know you still have to put it.
Everything about this film was perfection. The editing, the transition from flashbacks to back to present day, from the chemistry between Robert and Zendaya to the directing. Yes, it's going to be 50-50 for its controversial topic, but for me, I enjoyed it and it will be put in the masterpiece tier.
And the next film that I went to go see is also a movie that I didn't review because the fatigue of the mind was getting to me more and more. But it's also a very couple chemistry filled movie, filled with comedy and action. What I'm talking about, Over Your Dead Body. Directed by Jerome Tacone, it is about a dysfunctional couple head to a remote cabin to reconnect, but each has secret intentions to kill the other. It was one of the best comedies that I have seen this year in general. The chemistry between Samara Weaving and Jason Segel was great because you really get to see that these people really hate each other. Like they really dislike each other. It feels like they really don't want to do it, and you get to feel that in the movie as an audience member, that you're just there and you're seeing this couple kind of going through it, but you don't really see the emotion of they really like want to kill each other. You get to see like, yeah, they really don't like each other, but I don't think they want to kill each other because they don't go through it. The second act is a different plot, obviously, because there's other characters that come into play, which is some of them more hilarious, some of them more okay, kind of annoying a little bit, But either way, it's a great comedy, dark humor masterpiece. And yes, I do say masterpiece because I enjoyed it. I had myself laughing. There's the audience that I went to go see when I went to go see this movie were laughing with me. It was joke after joke, and it was just incredibly hilarious when it came to this entire film. So with that being said, Polly, where will you put this in the tier list?
One of the best comedies I have seen this year. Had me laughing a lot, and even though I did say it was a masterpiece, I did want to see better plotting when it came to this film. The first act was really dull besides the two main characters disliking each other. It's not until the second act where the action comes knocking. That's why I'm gonna put it in the good tier.
Now, the next film that I wish I didn't go see, but I did, and I also reviewed it, is, well, it's a movie that is based on nothing about the actual movie. I'm talking about Lee Cronin's The Mummy, directed by, big surprise guys, Lee Cronin. And I'm not even gonna say about what the plot is because you can just go see that in Letterboxd or Google and whatnot because it's not even worth it. And it's not worth it, guys. I still have the poster. Nobody has really emailed me about it, if they want it or not. Obviously, it's already like folded and everything, so I don't think no one's gonna want this. And if you do want this, and you want this for your collection, then you are mad. You're mad in the head. The director directed Evil Dead Rise. And that movie, I thought it was great, I enjoyed that film. It was nasty, it was disgusting, and of course this film also had that recipe for it as well. The formula of being disgusting, which, you know what? I agree, that was a good part about this film is that it was very disgusting. But that's where it ends. That's where the positive ends, honestly, because other than that, the characters were horrible. I did not care about the family whatsoever. Not only that, but the mummy, it was nothing about the mummy. There was like some snippets of like, hey, yeah, that's the mummy, yeah, why not, let's put a little mummy. But this is basically Evil Dead. Evil Dead, the sequel, I guess you can say. And not only that, but it was mixed with The Exorcist as well. And it's just the plot, the editing, everything about it was just horrible. So let me not waste your time, guys. Editor Polly, I know we're gonna put this, but go ahead either way. Where you put this in the tier list?
Honestly, I don't even know what to say about this film. It was just horrible. Everything about it was just horrible. So, yep, it's gonna be straight to, the trash tier.
The second to last film of April that I'm going to go see is it's the king of pop himself. I'm going to go see Michael, directed by Anthony Fuqua. It is pretty much based on Michael Jackson's story, his biopic. Jafar Jackson, the nephew of Michael Jackson, played Michael Jackson. He really showed that he wanted to not only respect his uncle, but become his uncle that he idolized, that a lot of people idolized. And he did such an amazing job of his mannerisms, his voice, his dancing, and his charisma. Obviously, there is a 50-50 when it comes to also this film, because some people did not like it because it didn't show the true events, the bad events, the controversies, the scandalous behavior of Michael Jackson sometimes, or Michael Jackson's peers. I agree a little bit of the people, the critics that didn't like it. It didn't really show Michael Jackson to the full length of it. It's gonna have a sequel, we all know this. I wish to show a little bit more of what Michael Jackson went through to become the king of pop, because they don't really give you answers sometimes. But that's it. Editor Polly, will you put this in the tier list?
I could be biased here since Michael Jackson songs were my childhood, but this film was one of the best biopics. Yes, I do agree that it could have shown more answers to some of the behind-the-scenes stuff about his life, but all in all, I had a great time, which is why I'm putting this in the great tier.
And of course, the last film of April that I went to go see, it's also a sequel. But does it have the sequelitis? Well, I didn't see the first one. Of course, I'm talking about The Devil Wears Prada 2, directed by David Franco it is about. As Miranda Priestley nears retirement, she reunites with Andy Shaz to face off against her former assistant turned rival, Emily Charlton. Now, obviously, this film, it is a sequel of Devil Wears Prada, the first one that came out, I think, in the early 2000s. Pretty much every cast member that was there. Anne Hathaway, Meryl Streep, Emily Blunt, Stanley Tucci. It had everybody there. And yes, the fact that I didn't go see the first one is a big shocker. I get it. Yes, okay. I get it. I have to see the first one. I thought it was also wholesome when it comes to some moments. And listen, the acting of Meryl Streep and Hathaway, Emily Blunt, perfectly done. They portray who they are. I'm gonna be very quick with this because I didn't see the first one. I think this film did not have a sequelitis, and even if I do see the first one, I still think that this film was great either way. And that's it. Editor Polly, where you put this in the tier list?
Here's the thing, I have nothing else to say about this film, mostly because I didn't see the first one. But, that being said, I can judge by the film by the second film, and I thought it was wholesome, I thought the comedy was great, the returning characters were amazing, so all in all, I'm gonna put this in the good tier.
Alright, so with that being said, guys, that is it for Cinepoly Reviews, this video of the best and worst films of April. I already know which movie I'm going to buy when it comes to the poster at least. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel. As always, guys, I have been Polly. This has been Cinepoly Reviews, and that is all.